start the session. So, today's topic of discussion is your business letter writing. Okay. Have you ever sent, do you have any experience in sending any kind of formal letters to any government or any company? Any one of you have any experience on that? Anyone? Anupam Roy, do you have any experience in writing a business letter? Shankar, no. Okay. Noor Nabi? Ishani?
No, ma'am.
So, you people have never written any kind of letter to anyone in a formal setting? Okay. So, when you are writing any kind of letter, let's say it can be a letter regarding some kind of inquiry, or in case of a resignation, or in case of the different information base. Okay, so all this type of letters, or the way you Shikhar Bolo, okay, the way you indulge in a way of writing any kind of formal letters, that's what we term as your business letter. Okay, so today we'll be learning about what is business letter, types of business letter, how to plan and structure a business letter, and tips for writing effective business letter. Okay, so business letter writing is something which is important to convey your message to any person based on a professional setting or a corporate setting, that you are able to make the conversation through writing in a professional way, in a clear, concise way, or putting up your thoughts and opinions in a writing phase. So this is one of examples you can just go through. Ramaya has applied for an internship. Her resume is solid. Her experience is relevant, but she has received no response. After weeks of waiting, she discovers that her letter did not convey her enthusiasm and her tone was too casual. Ramya is surprised about losing out on an opportunity, not because of her qualification but because her letter did not make the right impression. So, when you are applying for some organization, or you are applying for any post at that particular time, if you have ever dealt with any government request, or any government schemes or possibility, or you need some kind of certificate from the government, you need to write a letter to them. Okay, so that kind of letter writing is one of your type of business letter. Okay, it should be formal letter. You are writing to, let's say, to the deputy commissioner, you are writing a letter to the circle officer, or you are writing some letter to the minister. So all these kinds of letters which are being made, or which you deliver to an corporate office or a government office, those letters are termed as your business letter. Okay, research has shown that 68% of employers will reject a candidate based on poorly written business communication. That is something which is your first impression. If you're writing your letter where there is typing mistakes, and there are mistakes in your way of conveying the information, or you have spelled the name of the person you are supposed to send incorrectly, your letter will be automatically rejected and the person to whom you have sent will have a negative impression about you. Okay, so this is one of the definition of business letter. It is a formal written document used for communication between individuals or organization in professional settings. In both professional and academic environments, business letter serves various functions such as requesting information, making formal inquiries, addressing complaints, offering proposals, or providing updates. So these are the different purpose of writing a business letter. Now let's look into the types of business letter we basically write in our day-to-day life. That is, one of is inquiry letter, when you ask for some kind of clarification or you want to get details about some products or surveys or business opportunities, or you want to know about some schemes from the government. So how you write it, or you need a certificate from the for your kin certificate, or you need a certificate of income certificate, all those kind of certificates which you uh, wants to get issued from the government. Those kind of certificates will require you to write at least a letter. Okay, so that kind of letter is known as your business letter, and type is known as your inquiry letters. So this is one of the way of writing. This is an example where you have written down the name, then the date on which you are supposed to send the letter, where you are sending it, and salutation where you are putting up the name as dear sir, then introduction, I hope this find you well, then the body, then the conclusion. Thank you for your assistance. I look forward to your response. Sincerely, your name. Okay. So this is your one type of writing a business letter. It is when you are doing some kind of inquiry from any organization. Then there is another type known as your request letter. Request letter, let's say you are trying to get some kind of certificates or some kind of information or some kind of service to be provided to you, or some permissions is required, you want to build up some shop, or you want to get your license. All these will require you to write kind of a letter to the governing body. Okay, so for that kind of letter you need to write in this way. Okay, this is one of the type of how to write a business letter if you need to get information. Okay, then complaint letters, if you need to complain about or about your dissatisfaction, or your you need to address some kind of conflicts happening, and clear details is not being given to you, you require some kind of clarification on that, this kind of letters can be used. So this is one example how to write a complaint letter. Okay, then thank you letters, when you are finished with an interview, always try to send a thank you letter to the organization for conducting the interview for you. Okay, or if you have finished a good project in your office or in your organization, then send a letter of thank you to those people who have, that is kind of acknowledgement you are providing to those people who have actually appreciated your work and has been given you a helping hand in completing your project. Okay, so what this does, this, if you send a thank you letters, this help you to maintain good relationship or good bonding or good network with the people who has already helped you. So this is an example how you do acknowledgement letter or your thank you letter. Then resignation letter. When you are leaving a company, you always there are many instances when you will be stuck in to how to write a resignation, how to be professional, not to show frustration, and be polite in sending your letter to an organization that I quit, though you had some kind of issues to which you are sending a resignation letter. Whenever you're writing a resignation letter, you should not show your frustration in the resignation letter. Okay, that is something which is formal. You are sending it to the organization that you will not be able to continue with your profile. Then you are leaving those responsibilities from this date. You will not be available. Okay, so resignation letter is something which is important for you to know. Like if you are stuck in some kind of position where you don't want to continue for a longer duration of time, then you can use this kind of formal resignation letters. Okay, so this is one of the example how you can write a resignation letter, where you have put up your name, the name of the person, if it is an HR or your boss or whoever is an immediate superior you are supposed to send. So his or her name should be here. Then subject line formal resignation notice, or you can write resignation letter. That way also you can put up your subject line. Then you just accept this, please accept this letter as a formal notice of my resignation from my position, as whatever position you are at in this company, effective from that. Let's say your resignation has to be you have to serve notice period. So if it is 1 month, put 1 month duration timing. If it is 3 months, put 3 months. So accordingly you put it up. I am grateful for the opportunities provided and will work to ensure a smooth transition. So this way you are supposed to write a formal resignation letter. Okay. Now how to plan and structure a proper business letter. So this is the way of making a proper business letter. First, the heading. Whenever you're writing, this is not email. Okay, this is something which you will be writing as a formal letter. Okay, heading, your name, your address, your contact information. This is the first thing you need to put up when you are writing a letter as a business letter. Then your if that person is not known to you, is the if the person is someone who you don't have any idea about, is some which is only acquaintance or someone, then you can write respected. Okay, instead of dear, you can write respected out here. Then the body, what you want to convey in those letters, that you need to write it down here. Then signed off, never write here yours truly, nor yours faithfully. Neither you should write yours, only yours. Don't write in that way. Always write sincerely. Okay, whenever you're writing a formal letter, you are not writing. If it is a love letter, that is different thing. If it is a casual letter to a friend, that is a different thing. Then you can write it faithfully or whatever it is. But whenever you are writing a business letter, you need to write it as sincerely. Okay, and if you're writing as a mail, at that time you need to write as regards. Okay, sincerely, your name and your signature, and down you can put it up. Okay, so this is the main formal structure how you are writing a letter in a professional setting. Okay, this is just the explanation given, like if you're putting up the heading, what should be included. Include your name, return address, contact details at the top of the letter. Mention the date the letter is being sent. Optionally, send the reception address, especially if sending a physical copy. If the letter serves a specific purpose, consider a relevant title. The subject line. The subject should make the person whoever is reading this particular letter should they should know from the subject itself what the letter is about. Okay, so your subject has to be very short and something which will be indicating what the letter is about. Okay. Then a formal greeting is essential. Dear is appropriate, including titles as Miss. If you don't know whether the lady, if it is a female, if you're sending, and you don't know whether it is a Mrs. or Miss, just write MS. MS is applicable for both married and unmarried. So you can write as MS for ladies. Okay. Then if that person has a doctorate degree, if you're writing so some kind of person who is doctorate, or you need to, or you are writing to actual doctor, then you need to write the as doctor. Okay. If it is your professor, you need to write the respected professor or dear professor in that way, if you're writing for any kind of academic backgrounds. If the reception name is unknown, opt for specific alternative like dear hiring committee or dear means if you're writing to a organization and you don't know who is the person, like whether it's a male, female, who is it. So you can write dear hiring committee or dear hiring team or their HR. You can write in short in that way. Okay. So or you can write dear team. That way also you need to address someone. Okay, so you can give as a team. Okay. To whom it may concern, you majorly see that some majority of the letters it has been written as to whom it may concern, but to whom it may concern is always used as the last resort or something which is when there is no option, you don't have any idea about where the letter is going to flop to, or where on whose decks it is going to be delivered. So at that point of time you can write to whom it may concern. Okay. Then body, when you're writing a body of a business letter, you need to make sure your body has an introduction, details about what you want to give the information about, and conclusion. Okay. You need to introduce, put the details in between, then conclude the letter. You can conclude it by writing out looking forward to your reply, or looking forward to your I hope I'll some information in this regards. So all that kind of information needs to be written down in while planning or writing a business letter. Sign off. Then tips for writing effective business letter. Whenever you are writing a business letter, you need to maintain professionalism. Always, professionalism means what? Professionalism means you need to have a respectful and polite tone. Don't use any kind of slang or any kind of harsh words to in a in a letter writing. Try to be as polite as you can, and don't show that people used to write in letters like prayer for doing some kind of in application, people used to write prayer for, or they used to write I beg to get the information on. You are not a beggar. You need to maintain your dignity, and you need to maintain your so that the other person whoever is reading those letters are giving you the respect and dignity which you deserve. So you need to maintain a proper professionalism while writing a letter to any organization. Choose clarity over complexity. Don't use too many words which are very difficult to understand for a in a day-to-day life basis. You might know some words which are very tough, or which if someone reads and they get into fancy words. Don't write fancy words in a business letter. Like, this is one example. We are cognizant of your communication, which also can be used, and it can be written down as we have received your message. So the wording you can see, we have received your message, is the simple English. So the message, whoever, if the person who is reading that letter might not know or have no idea about the word of meaning of the word cognizant. So this sentence will, your message will be conveyed appropriately and properly, that yes, this is the thing they want to convey through the letter. Okay. Stay objective. Whenever you're sending a letter, a business formal letter, you need to be very sure that your personal opinions or your personal frustrations are not shown in those letter. Okay. Let's say you have some kind of water problem, water logging in your area. So instead of writing in the letter, you are frustrated with the department, you are doing not no person is doing anything on this regards, and if you write in that way, your objective of writing the letter will not be clear. You need to write in such a way that this situation has happened, request you to kindly look into the matter. So that kind of setting of staying objectively clear, that will lead you to convey the message in a proper way. Then address the reception directly. Try to use you to engage the reader and personalize the message. Okay. Instead of, let's say, this is an example, documents will be reviewed by the team. The team is, no one knows who is the team. Okay. So if you can use the information, like you are taking it personally, you will receive a review of the documents by our team, something which is been determined that yes, these are the group of people that will be looking into the matter. Okay. Formatting and structure. Use standard format. These are very important when you're writing a letter. Stick to professional formats like block or modified block format for consistency, and try to make your letter. Okay, I'll just show you.
Nó mà đan nó hay.
Wait.
Ando lihat ando. Poin pun dia campus pun pun dimulai. Dan lihat. Mana lagi? Pergi? Pergi? Dia nak pun kurang nak pegang macam mana? Ada? Kau ni seperti kelana jaga. Dia handuk. Nama tu sunti itu sering. Porai. Hey, porai dong. Deh porai deh. फरायहोनदां दे दे ओमफ्राय फरायगोखै बिनिफ्राय
आबैखौ आं माबोरै फरायनो फोरोंखो बै समाव आं 12 बोसोर बैसोनिमोन आबौ आबैजों आं बे समाव कर्नाटकनि मोनसे गामियाव थायोमोन बे समाव फोनांजाब राहाया ओरैबायदि जोंनि रादाब बिलाइया बेलासि समावसो आखाइयाव गोलैफैयो बासजों सहरनिफ्राय रादाब बिलाइफोरा फैयोमोन जों बयबो गेदेर हाबिलाजों बे बासखौ नेनानै थायोमोन बै समाव रावनि बयजोंबो अनसायजानाय लिरगिरिया फैदोंमोन बिथाङा मानसिनि गोसोनि मुलुगनि जेंनाफोरखौ
Are you able to see?
लिरदोंमोन बै समाव खासियाथि मुंनि बिथांनि गंसे सल'मा
Guys, are you able to see my screen?
मा बेलाय
Just
So when you are doing a letter, here here you can find the front sides. Okay, you need to always Times New Roman. Okay, Times New Roman should be the front size or front style of your writing your letters. Okay, in MS Word, or basically you will be typing. So in that particular situation, you need to be clear about the front style. Then your size, 12 is the size. Okay, here you can see it's been written there, Times New Roman. Okay, size 10 to 12 with single spacing within paragraphs and double spacing between them. Okay, if you are writing, let's say, a sentence like okay, make sure when you are writing the letter body, this one is the size, either 1.5 or 1.15 within this. Okay, and this should be here like this, justified, so that your this side and this side is equal. Okay, this is where you can do left alignment, middle alignment, back alignment, all this kind of things, right? So that is important.
Biswanathni फरायदों ना रायलायदों दे
Then
Biswanathni
clear paragraph structure. If you are writing any kind of letter, your paragraph should be proper in the sense your introduction. If it is a long letter, then your introduction should be with your body, there should be gap, like introduction should be first group, if your letter is long, then your body the main item should be in the second paragraph and the conclusion in the last paragraph. That is the way of writing a letter. Okay.
दरखंखौ
गानो मोनफेराखैमोन बेनिखायनो बियो फरायनोबो रोङामोन हाबथायारि रादाब बिलाइया आखायाव फैयो
नों बेनो कुइसन आनसार सोंनाय फिननाय मोनदों ना
औ
नैबे
औ
बेखौ नों मुंखौ सखलायजोब आंखौ सोंगासिनो दं दे दसे उनावहाय मुंखौ सखलायनो आं लावथि लायनि नों खोथा लायाना लावथि लायनि
Are you able to see this? You can see here introduction is in one opening paragraph. This is the body and this is the closing, okay, paragraph. So this is the way how you are supposed to write down the details in your business letters. Okay. These are some of the formats. Okay. So these are some of the formats to write a business letter. All right.
Snälla. Så. Malay.
Then another tips for writing effective business letter is checking for any typing mistake before you do the printout, and you do send the letter to someone. You need to check for errors, because errors is something which will be the first thing the person to whom you are sending will be looking into it. Okay, try to make sure that there are no typing mistakes, grammar mistakes before sending a letter to any organization. Alright, I'll just take a brief attendance from you. If I have not mentioned someone's name, please let me know. Anupam Roy, Noor Nabi, Ishani Shankar, Markeleshwar Basumotari, Manohar Hussain, Sushmita Devnath, Nilakshi, Shekhar Boro, Priyashri, N. Naziri or Nazira, I don't know how to pronounce that. Abhishek, Arpita. Anyone left whose name I have not mentioned?
I am present, ma'am. Nawab Arif.
Yeah, you have joined late, I believe. Yeah, Jabin, I have written your name. Anyone else left? Abhishek just came for the attendance and he just left. That will not do. I'll just deduct his attendance. Okay. So when you are making the letter, you need to also make sure that your letter is not too lengthy. It should be at the most 1 page, not more than that. Okay. If it is something which you need to give something in details, then that is another case. But majority of the time, whenever you are writing a letter, it needs to be in one letter so that the person whoever is writing it down or whoever is reading it down will understand what is the main purpose of the letter. Okay? Then ensure consistency. Make sure all the lines which you have written, front size, margins, spacing, everything is same. If one paragraph's uh, gap between the introduction paragraph and the body is much more in comparison to the space between your body and the conclusion, then it will be a difficult for the person who is reading the letter to get into it will look clumsy and the person will not be interested in reading your letter. Okay, so it is very important to check those before sending a letter to any organization. So these are some of the general etiquettes for writing a business letter. To avoid informal language or avoiding slang, be mindful of tone while addressing sensitive issues. If you are writing it something which is very sensitive, religiously or politically or culturally, then you need to be very mindful how you address those kinds of issues. You can see people writing out tweets or putting up some videos. Cases are being slammed against them, right? So similarly, in a business letter, if you write something which is not sensitive to the issue you are writing a letter to, then your letter will directly be dismissive, and the perceive of your letter will be taken as something else. Okay, avoid overuse of capital letters. Try to use as less as possible your capital letters. What it is perceived in business letter is that if you write words which are in bold letters or capital letters, then it is perceived as shouting. Okay, if some words you need the person to catch it or make them visible more than the other words, then you write that word in the capitals. Okay, whenever you are writing any letter in a business format, try to have a room for to communicate with you. Don't close down the communication by writing that we are looking into it sincerely. That no, at least give phrases like please free to contact if you need any kind of information, if any other documents is required, please let me know. So that kind of communication will or sentences in your business formal letter will help you to for them to give you any kind of reply or any kind of requirements in case of in the prospect of your letter, whatever you have written down there. So this is one example. You can go through the slides when you check your tabs in the LMS. Okay, this is the small piece. Which of the following is not the purpose of a business letter? 1. Requesting information. 2. Offering proposals. 3. Sharing casual updates. 4. Addressing complaint. Which of the following is not a purpose of business letter? Can anyone give me an answer? Anyone can try? I'm sharing casual updates. Yes. Sharing casual updates is not a purpose of your business letter. Okay. Next question. You need to gather more information on a new product. What type of letter would you write? Is it an inquiry letter, request letter, resignation letter, or a complaint letter?
Ma'am, inquiry letter.
Inquiry letter. Yes. Good. Which of the following would appropriately complete the heading section of a business letter? Sender's name, salutation, subject, sign off. Which one?
Dia menai man mathaya maman.
你คนหน่อยมันมีจันทบุรีคือมาช้าคืออย่างนั้นมันแค่นั้นเลยว่าอะไรอ่ะอะไรล่ะ
Sender's name, ma'am.
ไม่ใช่ปุ่นอ่ะ
Oh, no, no. Ma'am, sender's name. It will.
Dia makasa po ego. Makasa po ego dia ko.
Sender's name. Be confident in your answer.
Sorry,
The
ma'am.
correct one. Yeah. Okay. So this slide has been complete.
Nơi nơi. Dạ, đi máy không? Thôi, mày đang có sợ quá nào. Mày lên được rồi.
Opo. Ni le kale.
Ba. Ba.
Okay. Have you ever sent any kind of letter or writing through email to any organization? Any email where you have sent it to a company or you have sent it for job interviews? Anything you have sent recently?
Hai nước chưa? Bộ nó nói đi nó chưa đã.
Dan nung na?
CV cover letter. Okay.
Cái này mình là gì cái đúng không nhau?
Did you receive any kind of response from it?
Ở đây chưa làm. Ở đâu làm chưa làm thì là gì cái đúng. Không, nhưng có màu được. Mấy chữ cô.
Okay.
Là chỉ có một người muốn trả trả xong một cái nào.
Pura si paano mo sa?
Ta sẽ phải được.
Pustaki, Wakarkara, Wabo.
Look, majority of the time you will be communicating through emails, right? Whenever you are if you're working in an organization, most of the communication to have a proof kind of activity, they prefer to send emails. Even when you are sending your CVs or your cover letters to an organization, they provide you with an email address, right? That is something which you will be using, whenever you are joining any organization, or if you are still in an organization working, then you will understand the importance of writing an email. Okay, email is something which on a day-to-day basis in a corporate sector they communicate with in a written communication. So how you are writing a letter, your subject line, okay, when you are writing a letter, the first thing person will be looking into will be the subject line. Here is if you have never written a mail, here is the subject line which will be the first thing a person will be looking into. So your subject line should be something which the person before opening the mail should know what you are writing about. Let's say you are applying for some jobs. So you need to write as application for the position of HR maybe. Then you can write if it is some kind of inquiry, request for information in whatever you want the information about. Then if it is a request for let's say for event to be conducted, then you can write the subject line as approval for conducting family event. For let's say the marketing department. So the first thing the person looks into email is your subject line. So whenever you are writing a subject line, it should be clear to the person whoever is going to open the mail will understand what it is about or what the mail you have sent about. Okay, that is the important agenda. The agenda needs to be written first in the first line in the subject line. Okay. It is been said that 47% of email recipients decide whether to open an email based solely on the subject line. According to a report by Optin Monster, a well-crafted subject line can make or break your email chance of being read. Okay, let's say you are writing an email to a recruiter or to an organization. How you present the first line of your subject will determine whether the person will be even opening your email and downloading your CV and cover letter. Okay, if you just write resume, okay, or if you just write CV for this particular position, that is a casual way of writing an email. So what a recruiter is looking for or what a HR is looking for is a proper line in the sense application for this position, or if they have a job ID, so you need to write the job ID in the subject line. Okay, that is the way of applying for a job, and the subject line is the first thing particular organization HR or recruiter looks into. Okay. Additionally, 35% of professionals admit that they respond only to emails that are clearly structured and easy to read. Okay, if your email is something which is very lengthy or you have put in all the data in your mail body, they are reluctant to even open your mail in the second time. Okay, they will not be reading your mail. Your mail should be precise. It should convey the information in small, clear communication. So that's one of the definition of email. It is a formal or semi-formal digital message used to exchange information, make requests or share updates in professional setting. In emails you can do attachment, you can do image, or you can do attachment of files, or you can do attachment of Excel, whatever documents you want to share. When is email appropriate? To provide non-urgent updates or share general information, for documenting decision agreements or formal records, when professional communication requires written confirmation or reference is the way when an email is appropriate to be sent. Okay. When email is not appropriate, when you have something emergency, let's say you are asking your boss to look into a matter which has been put up by the client. Okay. But what you have done, instead of giving a call because you're hesitant to call up your boss, you have sent an email. The person might not even, your boss might not even be, looking into his mails, right? He might be busy in some other matters. At that particular time, you are supposed to, if the matter is urgent or something which is needs to have his, outlook, then you need to opt for a phone call or a meeting. You should not opt for an email. For sensitive or personal discussion, you can either send a mail, like you need to discuss some agendas with him personally, to request a timing to discuss the matter. That way you can, that's way you can write an email for, that is appropriate way of writing to a person you need to discuss some sensitive issues, or you want to complain about someone. That is the way of writing it. Okay. When complex issue would lead to misunderstanding, face-to-face or phone calls are better. Sometimes what happens, when you write an email, the other person might not take the message we want to convey in a good way. Okay. But when you are sitting and discussing those letters face to face, or you are conveying your details on a phone call, your voice will lead the other person to understand what sometimes it get misinterpreted, the emails. So your perceived way of speaking or your conveying the details will lead you to remove or reduce the complexity of those kind of situations. So the way I have shown you now, this is the structure of an email. Subject line, then you need to write whether respected sir, dear whoever you want to address those. Then body, the body should be written down in this way. And if you need to change the front size or the letters, you can change it in here. Then sign off, always sign off your letters or emails which you send. This you can also do in settings. In your Gmail settings, there are options where you can automatically put up your signature or your sincerely and regards. You can either use sincerely or use regards, one of the one. You cannot use truthfully, faithfully even in the email. Okay? Then attachment, here is the option of attaching any documents you want to attach. Then you can say, if you need some changes in your body, you can do the changes here in the column here. So this is how a subject line needs to be written, a brief, clear, concise summary of the email purpose, why you were writing this email. Okay. Keep it under 50 characters. Avoid vague or generic lines. Use action-oriented language when possible. Be specific and direct in your subject line. Okay? Don't be vague when you're writing a subject line. Okay? Formal, dear or respected. Semi-formal, if you're writing to a colleague, then you can write as hi or hello team, all those kind of things. Always double check to the person you're writing. The name matters, right? If you are not writing the spelling of that particular name correctly in the mail in a professional setting, it is disrespectful to the other person who is receiving the email. Okay. Sign off sincerely is the formal way of writing, or regards you can write it the same meaning. Whenever you are attaching any kind of documents, majorly in the office, we write as PFA. Okay. In short, PFA stands for what? Please find the attachment. Okay. Either you can write PFA or you can write please find the attached
We must
details
in time,
below.
say day.
In that way also you need to, if there is any attachment, you need to write in the body of your mail that
That is how
this is what is been attached with the mail, so that in case you forgot to attach the mail documents with the mail, the other person will be replying you back and will, they'll be looking into whether you have sent the attachment or not. It happens, like, sometimes you send a mail and you see that, oh, I forgot to even attach the document which I'm supposed to send. But if you have already written in the mail body, the other person will know that this is something which is being expected. Okay. The structure of an email, similarly the way you write a letter in a business or a business letter, similarly you need to write a professional letter. Introduction. So these are some of the examples how you can start your introduction of an email.
What is the meaning of it?
The details, what you need, you are supposed to give the content about or convey the
Write the
details
meaning,
about.
Number 1. Word meaning gula
As much as possible, try to use bullet points in your email, so that, because you know that whenever you're writing a mail, if it is a long mail,
right.
people tend to find it difficult to understand if it is in a big paragraph. Okay, they don't have the time to read the whole lines, and they might get confusion in understanding the language or the sentences. So how you do it, try to use as much as possible bullet points or small lines, so that it is easier for them to understand what is going on. Then avoid overloading with unnecessary information or jargon. Don't try to use too many hi-fi words. Simple words is required and it should be grammatically correct. Then the conclusion, whenever you are writing an email to a recruiter, you can write looking forward to hear from you, or you can write please let me know if you need any kind of information from my end. So all these kinds of sentences are kind of a conclusion sentences. Okay, so these are some of the features of your email. Whenever you are writing an email, you might see after the to there are options. CC means someone, if you need someone to keep on the loop on your email, that person's email ID, you put it in the CC. That is a carbon copy. A sign off. A deadline for the response. It's very vague. Like you want to check on the progress of the marketing proposal when you require that. That is not written here, right? So you need to write down, I wanted to check in on the progress of the marketing proposal. Please let me know by the end of the day. Okay? If you write that kind of sentences, then the person also will know that you need on an immediate basis, right? If you need to check in on the progress when you require, it's not been written there. So what they will be replying you back, right?
আর এটা থেকে 3:30 দুইটা 25 টাকা এদিকে 20 মিনিট
So we are done with business introduction to business communication, non-verbal communication, effective listening skills, creating and preparing our presentation, delivering the presentation. All of you have completed this assignment. The video, I hope all of you have done it. Then we have completed mastering business writing. We have completed, yes, Noor? You want to say something?
I have done.
You are supposed to complete it yesterday. this was the assignment, right? I have already mentioned in the class that you need to complete the assignment of making that presentation yesterday. So by today, if you can, please complete it, okay? Otherwise, it will be pending for you the other assignments. Now, I want you people to complete this by tomorrow. Effective email writing assignment, okay? You will find out the assignment in the app which you have in the LMS, okay? And I want you people to share your resume in the group, or whatever you have made till now. You can send your resumes in the group so that we can discuss how can you improvise your CVs, okay? What more you can add, we'll be discussing on that. This is one of the important topic which need to be addressed, like crafting CVs and cover letter. This you will be doing in your process of applying for jobs, right? So let's us have a discussion on creating a CV and how a cover letter should be written, okay? So after we are done with this, we'll be doing an assignment, okay? So tomorrow you need to complete the email writing assignment, and those who have not completed the presentation, please complete it by tomorrow. By today, and email writing needs to be complete by tomorrow, okay? By night also you can complete this one, email writing, okay? So tomorrow we'll be discussing on CV writing and cover letter. Then we'll have an assignment when you need to submit your improvised CV and cover letter as an assignment online, okay? Any questions? Yes, Noor? Noor Nabi, you have any questions, any doubts? Yeah, you can speak.
Yes, ma'am, I don't find. I don't find the link exactly.
What link? Yeah, are you not able to go through your this one LMS?
But there is log one. Hello?
How it can be log? It's been, have you opened your this one CV? Oh,
Yes.
sorry, the mails, the slides.
Yes, ma'am.
How come?
There is log. Not open me.
Okay.
클래스에 잠ila. नोंसोरो थांनो हासिगोन सिगां लानो आं सुक्रुबाराना दिनैहाय सिबाय खिन्थु अनसु था आलिसामना दासो फैदों दाबो फैयाखै नोंबो दासो बावाखै उनावसो थांगोन